Good morning to us here in the Philippines, and good evening to you, Anne, and to other representatives that will be joining later. We are now on our second to the last Saturday of our online education fair, and I would like to thank our dear audience for always making time and for your continued support for joining us today. And today, we will have a brief introduction on how you can be a permanent resident via student visa pathway. We will also learn more about what the schools from different provinces across Canada has to offer to all of you as international students. And now, I would like to introduce to all of you we are expecting five special guests for today. First off, she is the regional representative for Philippines of Niagara College in Welland, Ontario. Please welcome Miss Divine Lacuna. Miss Divine?
Hi, Miss Divine. Where are you?
Okay. And second to us as special guest, she is the operations manager for international education of College of New Caledonia. Please welcome Miss Anne Harris. Hi, Anne.
Good morning, everyone. Hi.
Okay. And we also have here the representative of College of New Caledonia here in the Philippines. Please welcome Sir Angelo Concepcion. Hi,
Good
sir.
morning, everyone. Morning. Hi, Anne.
Morning.
Missed you.
Okay.
Nice to see you, Angelo. Hi.
Okay. And we are expecting our guest or representative from Nova Scotia. He is the senior international recruiter and an alumni of Cape Breton University in Sydney, Nova Scotia. I'll be introducing later in the event, Mr. Brett McLean. And we also have here the international recruiter manager of Red Deer College in Red Deer, Alberta. Mr. Calvin Yu will be joining us also later in this event. And okay, perfect. And before we proceed with our main agenda for today, I just want to remind our dear audience to you may now enter your questions in the Q&A box below while presentations are ongoing. Sir Apple and I, as well as the school representatives, will reply to your concerns, and questions that wasn't entertained will be answered in our last part of our event in the Q&A. And to begin with our agenda, to have an introduction about the study visa pathway, ladies and gentlemen, he is our senior consultant, the general manager of Proactive Immigration Advisors Corporation. Please welcome Sir Apple Apuntar. Sir Apple?
Thanks, Dean. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. There. Okay, good morning again, everyone. First, I just want to thank our panelists, especially those who are currently in Canada, for making this event possible. You know, the time difference between Canada and the Philippines is really challenging. So please know that we really appreciate your participation for today. Again, thank you. Now, let me just provide you some information about our company and what we do. We are not just an education agent. We are an immigration consultancy firm, and our clients are represented by a registered Canadian immigration consultant. I am making this distinction because it is important if your goal is to apply for permanent resident status in Canada. An education agent may be able to help you connect with a school, but if your goal is to live in Canada permanently, they are not in the position to guide you. What you need is an immigration consulting firm. But I need to clarify on that part. It is not mandatory to hire the services of an immigration consultant or immigration lawyer for Canadian visa application purposes. All the information about visa application is actually available on the Canadian immigration website, which is www.canada.ca. Okay. As an immigration consultancy firm with over 30 years of experience already, we can definitely help you. We've already helped over 60,000 Filipinos solve their financial problems by immigrating to Canada. You see, we don't just process visa. To us, it is helping Filipinos get ahead in life by immigrating to Canada. We actually draw our job satisfaction from the fact that our clients who immigrated to Canada are now enjoying a quality life. They no longer worry about sicknesses, accidents, and hospitalization because of Canada's universal healthcare system. They no longer worry about their children's education because this is being provided for free. And equally important, they no longer worry about retirement. They no longer fear becoming a financial burden to their family during their old age. So if this is what you also want for your family, then we will be your gateway to Canada. To immigrate to Canada, ideally, you must have a Canadian education credential and must have at least 1 year eligible Canadian work experience and a permanent and full-time employment or job offer. You can have all this if you enter Canada as an international student. At this point, let me show you a video from Immigration Canada itself promoting student visa as a pathway to permanent residency and Canadian citizenship. Let's watch this.
You may have heard of Canadians' friendly and open nature. The United Nations consistently ranks Canada as one of the best places in the world to live. But did you know it's also one of the best places to study? Match your interests with schools and programs in Canada that deliver exciting academic, social, and cultural experiences. You can apply for a study permit as soon as you've been accepted to a Canadian college, university, or other designated learning institution. Check and see if the program you plan to take will make you eligible for a post-graduation work permit. You may also want to see what the Canadian workplace has to offer. Most international students are allowed to work on and off campus jobs, have internships, and do co-op placements. You and your spouse or partner can gain valuable experience in the Canadian workforce. Should you need some extra time to complete your studies, decide to enroll in a second program, or just need a new visa to go home for a visit, the Government of Canada also has options to help you extend your stay. The post-graduation work permit is the top choice for international students who want to work after they study. With a post-graduation work permit, you'll be able to work for up to 3 years in Canada for almost any employer. If you aren't eligible for the post-graduation work permit, you may be eligible for other options that allow you and your spouse or partner to work in Canada on a temporary basis after you graduate. Be sure to check out canada.ca/international students to find out when to apply for the post-graduation work permit. Wouldn't it be nice to apply all of your Canadian educational credentials and work experience to pursuing a career and building a life in Canada? Express Entry, the Provincial Nominee Program, or the Atlantic Immigration Pilot can be your path to permanent residency. And the time you spend in Canada as a student or temporary worker counts towards eventually applying to become a Canadian citizen. After all this, maybe you too can become Canadian, eh? To discover your options, visit canada.ca/international students.
So there, Immigration Canada is actually promoting student visa as a pathway to permanent residency. So here's how it works. You need to study for at least 2 years, right? If the goal is to become a permanent resident. Technically, the minimum requirement is at least 8 months program, but that will not basically help you get a permanent resident status. It's possible, but it's extra difficult. So the ideal length of your program should be at least 2 years. While studying in Canada, you can actually work part-time for a maximum of 20 hours per week. And during school breaks, you may work full-time, right? And your spouse may join you in Canada. Your spouse will have an open work permit and your spouse may work full-time. Your school-age kids, they can actually study for free, right? And then after completing your program, you may be allowed to work full-time for a period equivalent to the length of your studies. up to 3 years. This is why a 2-year program is important. If you study only for 1 year, you'll be given only a 1-year post-graduation work permit. But if you study for 2 years, you'll be given up to 3 years post-graduation work permit. And a visa processing time is only 1 to 2 months. And how do you transition then into becoming a permanent resident is simply after completion of your program, you'll be given 3 years post-graduation work permit. You can use that period to gain at least 1 year eligible Canadian work experience, and then you will be on your way to a permanent residency. But it's really not that simple. For those of you who are planning to apply directly without the assistance from an immigration consultant or immigration lawyer, this is very important. Remember this. Studying in Canada is not a guarantee that you will become a permanent resident. You need to carefully plan and make the right choice as to which program, school, city, and which province you will go, because it has a direct effect to your immigration plan. But then again, help is available, so why take the risk? Again, let me emphasize this. Studying in Canada is not a guarantee that you will become a permanent resident. So please do not waste your time and money, all right? Now, in applying for a student visa, you need to be financially prepared. You need to convince the visa officer that you have the financial capacity to support yourself for at least 1 year to cover the tuition and living expenses. Tuition amount varies from one school to another, but the average amount is around 15,000 Canadian dollars per year. Typically, the school would require a deposit for one term at least. That's basically one half of the 1 year tuition for them to issue the letter of acceptance. But to have a higher chance of approval, we highly recommend that you pay the 1 year tuition in advance, in full, right? I'll explain that later, why that is important. Now, for your living expenses, the amount required if you're single is at 10,000 Canadian dollars. This 10,000 Canadian dollars pretty much supposedly would cover your accommodation, food, transportation, and other incidental expenses during your stay in Canada. If you have an accompanying spouse, you need to add 4,000 Canadian dollars and additional $3,000 each for its accompanying dependent child. So the living expenses allowance varies depending on the number of family members going to Canada. You may submit a bank certificate as proof that you have this amount. The bank certificates may be under the name of your under your name or under the name of your sponsors. Yes, sponsorship is allowed, but we highly recommend that you open a guaranteed investment certificate account. Simply put, this means opening a bank account in Canada for at least 10,000 Canadian dollars. This is a special program for international students. Bear in mind that one of the common reasons why an application is being refused is due to the failure to convince the visa officer that you have the financial capacity. Thus, paying the tuition in full for 1 year and opening a GIC account will dramatically increase your chances of approval, right? Not a guarantee, but it will definitely increase your chances of approval. So looking at this amount, at this point, you might be thinking that studying in Canada is expensive, right? It actually is. But then again, if you will consider your income opportunities while in Canada, you will realize that you can easily recover your investments. Take a look at this income and expense summary, right, while you are in Canada. The assumptions made here is that you are going there as a couple. And the student will work part-time while the spouse will work full-time. We will assume that they will just earn a minimum age for purposes of this presentation. And there's the assumed monthly expenses, basic rent, food, and transportation. So using these assumptions, their combined monthly income would be $3,200. And after deducting the taxes and expenses, you would still have more than 1,000 Canadian dollar in savings. And in 1 year time, that's around 13,000 Canadian dollars in savings. And this amount is very conservative, considering that the assumptions we made here is that the income would be a minimum wage only. You can actually work, you can find job which pays more than the minimum wage. So this is very doable. At this point, all you need to do really is decide if you also want this for your family. Okay. Miss Dana May Rodriguez is just one of our clients who are now in Canada. They become permanent resident in Canada through the spouse. They are both registered nurses. So Miss Dana went there as international student. Her spouse and son joined her, and they were able to get the permanent residency status through the work experience of the spouse. Because remember, the key to become a permanent resident is basically a Canadian education credentials, 1 year Canadian experience, and permanent and full-time employment. So through the British Columbia Provincial Nominee Program, they become permanent residents in Canada. So please do your due diligence, read reviews from our clients, communicate with them, and from there, you come up with a decision whether you want to do this on your own or you would consider hiring our services. Here's what you need to do if you are interested to hire our services. First, if you haven't done it yet, please take the online assessment simply by visiting gatewaytocanada.com. There's an assessment link there. And as soon as you submit your online assessment information, check your email inbox or spam folder or promotions folder. You will receive the assessment result along with the other information for you to come up with an informed decision. Now, for those of you who needs assistance for admission application, is basically whatever school you prefer or based on your preference, then our admission team would be able to help you. That ends my presentation for today. If you have questions, please use the Q&A box and I will be happy to answer them. Thank you. Now I'm going to transfer the virtual mic to Ms. Divine, the International Recruitment Manager for Niagara College, to do a presentation for Niagara College. Ms. Divine, are you ready?
Yes, Apple, hello. Good morning and good day to everyone. Thank you, Apple, for that wonderful
Thanks.
introduction about CIC. Okay. Hello, good day to everyone. I'm Divine Lacuna. I'm the regional representative of Niagara College. And today I'm just going to introduce to you our school, our area. And if you have any questions, please type it on our Q&A box. Okay, could you see my screen clearly? Don't worry, wala naman siyang audio. To everyone, this is Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls is one of the most visited tourist destinations sa Canada. And from Niagara Falls, our campus, one of our campus at Niagara College is malapit lang dito. Okay. Where are we located? In Canada, we're located in the province of Ontario. So in province of Ontario, dito natin makita ang city ng Toronto and yung capital ng Canada, which is Ottawa. Next, our exact location sa Ontario. We are 1 hour 30 minutes away from downtown Toronto. You will see in your screen yung red circle. The red circle is yung exact location ni Niagara. And we are 25 minutes away from Buffalo, New York border. So the bridge that you are seeing right now is the Rainbow Bridge, which connects Buffalo, New York and Niagara region, which is one of the most busiest borders of US and Canada. Niagara College is a public institution, so we have catered to more than 95 different countries. We are also have more than 100 plus programs that i-introduce ko sa inyo mamaya yung some of the programs. And you don't have to worry, we also have more than 4,000 international students sa Niagara. So hindi naman kayo aloof. So yung mga sa baba, yung makikita ninyo is our students and faculty. At Niagara region, we have 2 campuses, one on Welland and one on Niagara-on-the-Lake. We call our Niagara-on-the-Lake campus is Daniel J. Patterson. It is 10 to 20 minutes away from each other by car. And also you have a bus as your transportation sa area. Ano yung mga programs na makikita ninyo sa Welland campus? Our Welland campus houses our allied health and nursing programs, media and communication studies, engineering, information technology, trade. So trades, it's like welding, hairstyling, esthetician, or yung spa. Then we have also our education and justice studies or yung mga law enforcement sa Welland campus. Next is, lipat naman tayo sa kabilang campus, our Daniel J. Patterson. So si Daniel J. Patterson, yung area niya is more of the nature side, malapit siya sa nature. It's because it's located against the Niagara Escarpment, which is a UNESCO bioreserve. Our programs dito sa area to is business, culinary, hospitality, and agriculture. We also have unique programs in distillery, wine, and beer studies. So ito yung mga makikita ninyong program sa DJP campus. For our start date, so tamang-tama, you attended this webinar with CIC. For 2021, our September intake is already open. January, application is still ongoing, and for May, ongoing na rin yung application niya. Our programs usually, we have until postgraduate certificate. Postgraduate is like a pre-master's degree. As long as you're a college graduate from the Philippines, pwede na kayong mag-apply sa postgraduate certificate. If you're an undergraduate, high school graduate, old and new curriculum, we also accept students from the Philippines. You could apply for our certificate, diploma, until bachelor's degree program. Applied learning or hands-on training, yung teaching approach ni Niagara. We at Niagara College, we have research. You could also join student competitions, study, work, and travel abroad. 70% of our programs have co-op, internship, and field placement. It's like our on-the-job training or OJT dito sa Philippines, and learning enterprise. What does learning enterprise mean? So, and learning enterprise are businesses inside the school. So, si Niagara may 8 major businesses inside the school, which also serve as our students' laboratory, plus our students' on-the-job training inside the campus or on-campus job experience. These major 8 businesses is also open to the public. Our students, so magkakaroon kayo ng exposure on campus and dealing or with the Canadian experience through the laboratories and businesses of Niagara College. We also have research and innovation. We have 3 major research and innovation. Usually ito, the companies will going to have partnership with Niagara College, and you as a students, kayo yung gagawa nung research nung company. This could be also a way for you to have a Canadian experience, and eventually if they would have an opening in their company, they could hire you as well. And students and employers are really satisfied with Niagara College students, and also the students are really satisfied after they graduate. What are help for our students? So we have a support advisement for academic advisors and peer tutors or PAL mentors. So PAL mentors are students to support you. Student-to-student support. We have academic advisors dun sa inyong program. We also have licensed immigration consultants in campus. So ito is yung tutulong din sa inyo kung may mga problems kayo or if you need advices. You have international student advisors. And we also have help for our students. Our students could go for our career services. They are the ones who have job posting na para sa inyo pag kailangan ninyo sa Canada. Medical insurance is already included in your tuition fee, so you don't have to worry to buy any medical insurance for you, or if you're going to bring your family, you could also add them. Athletics, recreation, and social activities are also provided by the school para sa inyo, para syempre ma-enjoy nyo rin yung college sa Niagara, sa Canada. It is also provided by the college. Transportation, so yun nga sabi ko kanina, it's regional buses. So as long as you're located sa may Niagara region, you could use your bus pass going to school, going to your part-time job, doing your groceries, or mamamasyal lang kayo within Niagara region. So it's unlimited bus ride. Food and grocery, we could also help you out in recommending. So ito yung mga ginagawa ng mga student assistants namin. And telephone services, so syempre pwede rin kaming mag-recommend din sa inyo. There's also 2 Filipino stores located sa Niagara region. For housing and accommodation, even though si Niagara is located in a tourist destination, it's affordable and much lower cost of living sa pagtira sa Niagara, as low as 400 per month, including utilities, so it's water, electricity, Wi-Fi, and laundry machine. 400 to 550 is the range of the solo room sa Niagara region. You could also stay with a Canadian family. We call it homestay. So you could also interact with this Canadian family and with other students as well. These are some of our Filipino students. So they would do modeling for the school, student competitions, so masali din sila. And sa orientation, so sila yung nag-welcome sa inyo. Other activities of our Filipino students sa school is during the orientation day, may mga social activities like barbecue party, karaoke night. So sama-sama. So this is a support group for you. For admission, so we're just going to ask for your scanned copy of your high school and college transcript and college diploma. Since of the pandemic, if your documents are still incomplete, okay lang naman yon. You could submit it later on, and there's no English requirement for Filipinos. So next is our tuition fee. Our tuition fee ranges from 16 to 18,000 Canadian dollars, 16 to 18,000 Canadian dollars for one school year. It already includes your miscellaneous or service fee, medical insurance, and bus pass. You could pay Niagara College pwedeng half or one term and or 1 year. So this is the payment scheme of Niagara College. You could also work while you study. So you could work 20 hours outside the school. And if you find a job inside the campus, you could also work 12 hours on top of your 20 hours per week. Hindi man limited dun sa 8 major businesses namin na pinakita ko kanina. You could also be a student assistant, could be laboratory assistant or international student assistant. So ito yung mga possible work inside the campus. After you study for 1 or 2 years or more, you could be granted for the postgraduate working permit. Could be 1 up to 3 years. So 3 years yung maximum ng postgraduate working permit. Minimum wage sa Ontario is 14 per hour. Some of my reminders, so it's almost the end of my slide. So there's no tuition fee deposit to apply for a letter of acceptance. So when you apply, you're going to get your official letter of acceptance. There's a deadline kung kailan kayo magbabayad ng inyong tuition fee. Then you could apply 2 programs and get 2 letters of acceptance at the same time. So this is like your option A or choice 1 and choice 2 of program. Application fee is waived with CIC, so you please contact them. And you could also apply for a 2,000 entrance scholarship. So this is our scholarship feature for our international students. Please like us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. So we also have a support group of Facebook and Instagram for Filipino students. And again, I am Divine Lacuna. I'm the regional representative of Niagara College. I'm going to also promote Niagara College also holds a monthly webinar. So if you want to join our monthly webinars, so this is also a good thing to connect you while you're transitioning from the Philippines going to Canada. Hope to see you soon sa Niagara, and sana kayo next time yung mga student dito sa aking mga graduate from the Philippines. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Define, for your informative presentation. So right now we will move forward to British Columbia, to College of New Caledonia. Miss Anne.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. And thank you, Tin and Apple and everybody at CIC for hosting this information session today. My name is Anne Harris. I'm Operations Manager for International Education at the College of New Caledonia. I'm going to share my screen and I have a short presentation for you. And after that, if you have any questions, then we can please put your questions in the Q&A. Okay, so we'll just get this started. I do have some videos I'm hoping to share if we have enough time and if the sound is working. Okay, so we'll just keep an eye on the time and see how that goes. All right, so the international education at the College of New Caledonia. Just to give you a bit of a geography lesson, we are located in Western Canada. This is the province of British Columbia right here in the far west of the country. And most of you are probably familiar with the city of Vancouver down in the south. And my college is located in Prince George in central British Columbia. So we're approximately 1 hour by plane north of Vancouver, or about 8.5 hours by car. So Prince George itself is a relatively small city, population of 80,000 people, and it's home to both the College of New Caledonia and also the University of Northern British Columbia, which is a small research university. So between the two campuses, we have around 9,000 students actually on both of those campuses. So you can imagine the city of Prince George is actually a very young, very vibrant community as a result of having so many students and post-secondary folk living in the community. Prince George is a very affordable city, certainly because it is a little smaller than most and because we're located outside of the lower mainland and outside of Vancouver. The cost of living is relatively affordable. And we like to think that even though we are a small city, we are definitely have a lot of amenities that you might not usually find in a city our size. I'm thinking in terms of both education, shopping, arts, entertainment, outdoor activities, both summer and winter. And I think for young people, it is definitely a very exciting place to live, and there are great opportunities for work as well. So I'm just going to try playing this video. Hopefully the audio works. If not, then could someone please let me know and I'll just skip the rest of them. But this is just a short little introduction to the College of New Caledonia.
Oh, there's no sound, Anne.
Welcome. Welcome. 欢迎합니다. 요코소. 마부하이. 欢迎大家.
Moroi. आपका स्वागत है.
Okay. So that was just a short little introduction. So the College of New Caledonia, we just celebrated our 50th birthday last year, and we have been around as a community college offering a vast variety of different programs for just over 15 years now. We offer something for our undergraduate students called university transfer, and this is fairly common for community colleges across Canada to offer this program. Essentially what it means is that students can take the same university level courses at the College of New Caledonia, and then transfer those credits to a university after completing up to 2 years of study. And within British Columbia, we have the opportunity to transfer students right across the province to many other public institutions. You can see some of them are listed here. And so some of the bigger schools such as University of British Columbia, University of Victoria, Vancouver Island University, and also some specialist universities such as Emily Carr University for Art and Design. And the reason why this is important is because it allows students to essentially begin their university studies with my college at a fraction of the cost that you would be paying at a larger institution. So we did a bit of a quick survey to see how our tuition stacks up against a major university. And you can see over 1 year, you could be saving as much as nearly 11,000 Canadian dollars, depending on which school you might be planning to transfer to. So the kind of programs that you could be doing would be things in arts, you could be doing sciences, you could be studying philosophy, psychology, those kind of things. And definitely is an excellent way of getting a good head start and saving some money at the same time. So those are called associate degrees. Those kind of credentials are associate degrees, and they are 2-year programs, which then, as I said, once you complete your associate degree, you can transfer then onto a major university and complete year 3 and 4 and complete your bachelor's. We also offer diploma programs at the undergraduate level. Probably our most popular is our business diploma. I think we have a lot of international students in the business diploma right now. And again, once you graduate with that diploma, then you're eligible to apply for the postgraduate work permit. And as we learned earlier in the presentation from CIC, this is then seen as an excellent pathway for immigration. We also offer some post-diplomas, and these are becoming more popular than ever with students from Philippines. Post-diplomas are for students who have at least 2 years of post-secondary education. Most of our students are coming in with at least a bachelor's degree, and then they're doing a 2-year post-diploma in a specialization area such as human resources or tourism management. And then again, they can then qualify for that 3-year work permit. I will skim just quickly over this. This just gives you a little bit of an idea of what we have in terms of our business programs. Undergraduate include things like accounting and finance and business management. And then, as I mentioned, we also have some post-diplomas in human resources, tourism, and a new post-baccalaureate in accounting and finance. Health sciences and human services are also very popular, and I know we have had several Philippine students already getting into these programs. We do have we have limited seats, but we definitely do have seats in programs such as social service worker and kinesiology. And then we also offer some pathway programs for students if they're interested in getting into very applied programs such as dental hygiene or practical nursing. And the reason they are pathway programs is because there are some prerequisite courses or specific courses that you need to take in order to qualify for dental hygiene or practical nursing. But if you have any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer those at the end. In terms of science and technology, again, we have a pretty good variety of different science and technology programs that we can offer. Of these, I would say most popular with our international students is our information technologies post-diploma, which is a 2-year program that focuses on computer networking. So students who graduate from this program are working as network administrators, they're working as wireless technology operators, they're working in wireless security, etc. And as you can imagine, in the current climate, with everybody in the world having to be online for learning and teaching, you can imagine that there's huge demand right now for skilled workers in this area. I'm going to share another video with you. This is just an introduction to our post-diplomas from one of our alumni, Parminder Singh, who is now actually working in our information technologies office.
My name is Parminder. I'm from Punjab, India. I'm CNC alumni. I work for IT services in CNC. I would recommend CNC to every single one who is willing to come to Canada for their education, because they have a very good educator faculty. They provide hands-on trainings. They provide a variety of courses here. They had PDIT, which is post-diploma in information technology, which was totally relevant to my study and my experience in India. My instructor at CNC were very supportive. They are still very good with me. I'm doing some certifications right now. Whenever I need help, they are standby and they help me and they give me solutions. and they made learning process a lot easier and enjoyable. CNC provide all sorts of skills. I got some interpersonal skills. I learned customer service also here. It helped me on my job on daily basis. The atmosphere at CNC is very friendly and it's very welcoming. You can learn about diversity here. People from all over the world come here and study. They enjoy their culture and they share their culture with everyone. I feel very proud that I share my culture with other employees and students here. I make a lot of friends here at CNC while I was a student. I'm still working at CNC, so I'm still making friends at CNC right now.
Okay. So I just wanted to quickly highlight the business management diploma. As I mentioned, this is a 2-year undergraduate diploma that does have specializations in several different areas, including marketing and international business. One of the nice things about this program, it is a very applied hands-on program. So you get a lot of experience in terms of working in groups, doing presentations, working in teams, and getting some leadership training as well. So I think that's one of probably our most popular program at the moment. We do have an engineering pathway as well, a 1-year applied science certificate, and then our brand new civil engineering technology diploma. The next intake for that will be in September of 2021. And again, as I mentioned before, our post-diplomas, I think we definitely have had a lot of interest from students from Philippines into these programs. In particular, tourism, hotel management, and human resources management. So I would highly recommend, if you're interested in that kind of thing, to consider our post-diplomas. I'm going to skip this slide because we don't need English language training. And just to talk a little bit about the student services that we offer on campus. In a normal semester, of course, we're very busy on campus with lots of activities happening on campus. At the moment, because of COVID-19, we have most of our activities and so on are happening online. So we're doing lots of Zoom webinars and things like that with our students. But we do offer a full suite of services that are available to everybody, whether they're online or if they're studying face-to-face. And that includes things like academic advising, helping students if they need help renewing study permits or their visa renewals. And then our student leadership and ambassador program. And pretty much every single photo that you've seen in this presentation today, these are all student leaders who get to volunteer to get involved in things like orientation, cultural activities, fundraising, etc. Just to touch a little briefly on our costs, we also have a homestay program. This is where you will live with a local Canadian family. The cost for that is 800 Canadian dollars a month, and that includes all of your meals. We do have student housing available right on campus. It's this building right beside in this slide right here. And the cost for that is $450 a month. However, your meals are not included. So then you're responsible for doing your own cooking, and there are kitchens available for that. Or private accommodation. And as I mentioned before, I think the cost of living in Prince George is relatively competitive. And so that means that the average rent for an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, is going to be between $700 and $900 a month. So you'll be paying obviously half of that if there's 2 of you sharing. And then just to touch briefly on our international tuition, our other fees as well. We charge per credit. This is how we calculate the cost for tuition at CNC. So a 3-credit course, which is just an average course such as math or English or biology or something like that, will be 1,230 Canadian dollars. So over 1 year, a full course load of 5 courses in fall semester and 5 courses in spring semester is going to cost 12,300 Canadian dollars. There are some additional fees that you need to bear in mind. These include things such as your medical insurance, the extended health and dental plan, which is in a separate insurance coverage, and then of course registration fees and so on. The registration fees then also cover things such as student union fees and your bus pass, so you don't have to pay any extra for transportation. This just tells you a little bit of information about our international admissions. Again, our students coming from Philippines are not required to provide an IELTS, provided you can prove that you have taken 3 years of instruction in English in Philippines. And so we will need to have a certificate from you from your college or your school to provide that. Otherwise, we are looking for an IELTS score of 6.0. And I have one last video, if I may, and then this just wraps up and talks a little bit from some of the words from some of our students on campus.
My name is Amanda. I come from China.
My name is Abraham. I'm from Brazil.
Hi, my name is Claudia. I'm from Colombia.
My name is Tavia Konde. I'm from Nigeria.
My name is Jitendra Kumar and I'm from India.
As a student here at CNC, I had many challenges. In all of them, I could count on the international office teams to help me solve any kind of challenge, from finding accommodation to career planning. I would say hands-on learning really helped me to engage with what I was doing, and it helped me to learn faster and much easier.
CNC has been holding lots of events and activities. In the last 4 years, I have been performing for the Chinese New Year. I organized the Dragon Boat Festival, International Education Week, and the new student welcome orientation. I joined the Student Leadership and Ambassadorship Program. This program helps me give back to the community. I love all events and activities in CNC.
The class size of the College of New Caledonia is pretty convenient for the students. They can have a one-on-one talk with the teachers regarding their questions and problems. I got my specialization in leadership course. I have developed myself a lot. I have developed my qualities. I have developed my skills. I have developed my personality.
When I came to CNC, I met a lot of people from different parts of the world. They all wanted to know about my culture, about what we eat, what we wear, the music we dance to. Black History Month was a perfect opportunity to share my culture with my friends.
What I like most of CNC is the cultural variety. The friendships I've made in CNC are the most amazing thing that has happened to me here, because they're like my Canadian family, as I like to call them, and I just love them to death.
Okay, and thank you very much for your attention. And as I said, I will welcome any questions, and I will now hand things back to Tin. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Anne. So right now, from British Columbia, we will move forward to Atlantic region in Nova Scotia. Please welcome Mr. Brett McLean. Hi, Brett. Hi, Brett. Oh, we can hear you. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. So thank you very much for taking the time to have us, and thank you to everyone who's presented so far. It's a little bit late here on the east coast of Canada.
Good evening,
Brett.
Apologize. Good evening, Brett.
Hey, Apple. Good to see you.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just going to crack on and get to the presentation. I think between Divine and Anne, I don't really have too much to add other than the East Coast and the Nova Scotia bit. So just let me share my screen here, and then I'll go through the presentation. Can you see that shared screen now?
We can see your screen yet.
You can see the presentation, the slideshow?
No, we can't.
No. Okay, 1 second. How about now?
Not yet. I think you need to point your mouse to the slide itself, not on the Explorer or on the
Yeah, it's
folder.
on that there. So you can't see that shared screen from Zoom?
Negative.
Negative. Because when I go to share it, it says music or computer sound only. Weird. There we go. Okay. How about now?
Perfect.
There we go. All right. It wouldn't be a presentation without some kind of error from someone on IT or on this. Okay, so I don't really think there's a point of talking about the why Canada. I know Tin and Apple and Divine have talked, I think, a lot about the why Canada and the immigration opportunities when you graduate. So I guess we could probably start with the location. Going from British Columbia on the far west coast, we're in the province of Nova Scotia, located on the far east coast of Canada. We are right on the Atlantic Ocean, and we're on Cape Breton Island. So Nova Scotia is divided into two parts. The mainland, which is of course attached to mainland Canada, and then our island, Cape Breton, which I want to clarify isn't out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It's actually connected to the mainland so that you can drive. But we certainly are an island. And what I'll often stress to students is that if you're looking to study in a large urban area with, say, 3, 4, 5 million people, this is certainly not us. I know a lot of our students from the Philippines are coming from Manila and Cebu, which of course are a much more densely populated city and come with those different opportunities like traffic. For us in Cape Breton, we're actually ranked the #1 island in North America by Travel and Leisure magazine, and the #3 island in the world. Even though we're only about 1 million people in Nova Scotia, we get about 5 million tourists every year, predominantly from Europe and the United States, that come for our golf resorts, ski resorts, beach resorts, whale watching, to relax. So to qualify that, if you are looking for a very, very busy place to live, this is not us, and that's not often why people come to Nova Scotia. In terms of the weather and the climate, I know that Canada obviously has a reputation of being a very cold country, but we are also a very large country. Depending on where you live, the weather is going to vary drastically. And for us in Nova Scotia, we're actually the warmest province in Canada. If you look at Vancouver in southern BC, this is the warmest city. But given the fact that Nova Scotia runs east to west and is located on the Atlantic Ocean, we typically have 4 seasons per year with a relatively warm winter at about -5 and a fairly cool summer at about 25 degrees Celsius. Of course, the important word there is relative. If you're coming from the Philippines, it's going to be cold, no doubt about it. You definitely should bring a jacket, but certainly I think with the 4 seasons, if you don't like the cold weather, it only lasts a few months in Nova Scotia. Okay. In terms of what we offer as a university, we are a smaller province, but also a smaller university. In total, we have about 6,000 students, but we have over 2,500 students from 56 different nationalities, which I think offers a very good blend of small class sizes where you get to know your professors as well as the other students in your class, but you do get to study in a very multicultural environment. And what we found is that our students that are coming to us, they're much more geared towards success, because if you do have an academic problem, you do have those professors available to go and speak directly to without having to go through maybe a teaching assistant or not have access to them at all. One thing I do think that we also offer in terms of the university experience is an opportunity for students to have a co-op. The programs I'm going to talk about do have a lot of work term opportunities, as well opportunities that when you graduate, you can stay in the province for an extended period. So I know for today, unless people feel otherwise, Tin or Apple, I know that in the Philippines, most of the students coming to us are looking for postgraduate opportunities. And at the moment, we do have a Filipino base, of about 50 students studying with us, certainly a lot smaller than other parts of Canada. But we also have a fastly growing Filipino expat community that's here with us, but not for study, rather on the express entry visa. We don't have too many students here with us from high school directly. So if students have questions about high school programs in the Q&A, happy to talk about them. But I think for the most part, I'm going to talk about our postgrad programs, if that's suitable. I know Apple talked about the study permits and work. There's just one thing I do want to add about the province of Nova Scotia, and I'll qualify it with I am not an IRCC consultant. This is not something that I can give you official advice on. But anecdotally, and from our students' experience, Nova Scotia has a lot of PR opportunities, probably more than most provinces in Canada, given the Canadian federal government's desire to push new students and new immigrants from Canada to Atlantic Canada. And this can be seen in our permanent residence opportunities post-graduation in the Atlantic immigration stream, as well as the study and stay program. These are two programs that are exclusive only to Nova Scotia and a couple of Atlantic Canadian provinces, on top of the provincial nominee program and the express entry. So certainly if permanent residence is at the top of your agenda or a high priority, I think looking at Atlantic Canada and specifically Nova Scotia, there's permanent residence opportunities not offered elsewhere within the first 6 months of graduation, okay? Before I talk about that programming, just one last thing to add is that if you do have any questions about calculating your tuition, similar to New Caledonia, it is based on how many subjects you're registered in per semester, okay? In order to maintain your visa, you need a minimum of 3, but you can register per semester up to a maximum of 6. So if you're a student that's registered for 3 subjects, but your friend is registered for 5 in the same program, you're going to pay a little bit less than your friend, but you will all eventually pay the same tuition, okay? So just clarity on that when we do talk about tuition. But without further ado, looking at the programs we have, one of our most popular schools for Filipino students is under our School of Business. And while we do have a program for undergraduate students in many different areas, including hospitality and tourism management, the main programs that our Filipino students come for are our post-baccalaureate or post-degree programs. And these would be programs available to students that already have a university degree from the Philippines and are looking for a 2-year postgrad option. We offer these postgraduate programs over 4 semesters, and whereby the last semester is either a work term or a research project. The focus of these programs doesn't have to have a business background in your original degree. So if you're a student that maybe studied engineering in the Philippines, or you're someone that studied the arts and social sciences, you're also eligible for these programs. The first one I want to talk about is the post-degree in supply chain management. If you're someone that's looking to further a career in Canada, perhaps in logistics or in supply chain management, this is a great program because there's a huge industry here in Nova Scotia. Because we're right on the Atlantic Ocean, most shipping routes coming from Africa, Eastern Latin America, and Europe all enter in Nova Scotia. And we have a large logistics operation in the Halifax area of the province. I know certainly within the Philippines, given your archipelago geography, you guys have a huge demand for supply chain as well. And certainly I know there's a lot of Filipinos working in this industry, whether it's in the Gulf, whether it's in Singapore, or whether it's working in Europe with Maersk and the shipping industries there. So if supply chain management is something you're interested in, this is what we offer. Another program that's been very popular in the Philippines is the business management program. Again, the business management program is a post-grad program that's 2 years. And this is really more designed as an opportunity for people to take a management position within a wide variety of industries in Canada. We have a lot of students coming in this that come from a project management background, IT, but also students that come from banking. A lot of our Filipino students are actually coming from Dubai and Abu Dhabi, having worked in the banking sector there, but also coming from the Philippines. Again, 2-year program and the 3 semesters in class, 1 semester as a work term. The third program is a business and data analytics program. This has been a program that's extremely popular with students that have graduated, again, with maths, IT, finance, or statistics. This program, I think, is probably going to be one of our most popular programs across both domestic and international, given the fact that it's really setting students up to work for companies like Amazon, Google, and IBM. IBM has a large headquarters in Nova Scotia, and a lot of our graduates are going to work with them there. But the business analytics program does require that you have maths and statistics in your undergraduate degree. So unfortunately for this program, usually students coming from an arts and social sciences background are excluded. But I think given the fact that everything you do now creates some kind of metadata online and creates a huge data set for everything, you're going to have a lot of opportunities if you're looking to work in Canada after you graduate. And last but not least is a brand new program that starts in May 2021, and which was actually created in part because of the huge demand in the Philippines for public health. I'm going to talk about our science-based public health and epidemiology program in a moment, but it's very coincidental that we're in a pandemic when we launched this program, but we offer now a 2-year post-degree option in public health management. So if you're someone that's coming from as a nurse, someone coming from pharmacy, psychology, childcare, if you're someone that's coming from a healthcare related background and want to continue this field in management, I think our public health management program for 2 years is going to be excellent. I know certainly in Atlantic Canada, we're anticipating a huge hiring in the coming years in public health management as we come out of this pandemic, because clearly this is something I think that's in demand. So if you are interested in 2-year postgrad programs, this is what we offer. The tuition price, I think, is quite attractive. For the entire 2-year program, the price is 26,000 Canadian dollars, which is about 20,000 American dollars. And the way that it works is that in year 1, you would pay 16,000 Canadian dollars, but in year 2, only 10,000 Canadian dollars. So again, we are a public university offering, I think, a very competitive tuition price for some very attractive programs at a 2-year basis. I know I previously mentioned hospitality. While this is a 3-year program, we've had a number of students from the Philippines join us on a transfer credit basis, okay? So if you're someone that's graduated already from a hospitality program in the Philippines, I know Apple and CIC and TIN, they've sent us a number of students for the hospitality program. Given the fact that we're the only university in Canada which is the exclusive partner of the Intercontinental Hotel Group. So that will be the Intercon Hotel, the Crown Plaza, the Holiday Inn, whereby we guarantee you at least an interview with them, because in order to complete this program, you must complete 2 paid work terms, okay? Students actually make money when they take this program to the tune of approximately 10,000 Canadian dollars. So if you are interested in hospitality, we have an abundance of golf resorts, ski resorts, many hotels whereby our students are in high demand for employment. So again, if that's of interest, please keep that in mind as well. The last program I really want to talk about is our public health program in our School of Education and Health. We do have engineering options, but due to time, I'm just going to kind of leave that out for now. But in our School of Education and Health, we have a 2-year post-degree option in public health and the health sciences. The focus here is really for only those students with a science background. So if you're a Filipino that's graduated with chemistry, a biology degree, is coming from a nursing degree, you can do a 2-year post-degree in public health focused on epidemiology. And again, this is a hugely in-demand program, not just because of a pandemic, but for the past 5 or 6 years. We have a lot of Filipinos in this program as well, because it seems you can't throw a stone in the Philippines without coming across someone that's not either a pharmacist or a nurse. And this program is really designed to focus on the prevention and spread of disease through air quality, water quality, and food. Kind of the skill sets that we're going through right now through this pandemic that are needed. If you're interested in working in health and safe inspection, if you're looking to work as an epidemiologist, if you're looking to work even in healthcare policy development, I think this will be a really good program for you. The big difference between this program and the public health management program is that this program is very much lab-based. There's a lot of work in the laboratory, and you should have chemistry in your undergraduate degree, whereas the other programs, you do not require that. I won't touch on this too much. We do have a strong engineering program as well. We have a 2-year post-degree in petroleum engineering, electronics and controls, chemical and environmental for those students that already have an engineering degree. But those would be the main programs I think that most Filipino students do take with us. We have over 100 programs, which unfortunately we can't cover today, but certainly we're working very closely with Apple and Tin, and they can help you with any questions. Just to go kind of quickly for a moment through the facilities, I think similar to most public universities in Canada, we're here to support you. We want to see you succeed. And to that, what we're going to do for you is that we're going to pick you up at the airport whenever you arrive for your semester. We do have a free IRCC consultant on staff, whereby if you need to extend your work permit, your study permit, or to apply for permanent residence, we will do this for you free of charge. We, of course, have orientation sessions on every one of our intakes. We're going to help you get a mobile phone. We're going to help you find a flat. We're going to help you get essentially set up with all the things that you have in the Philippines, but you're going to need in Canada. We do have a very vibrant campus life. I think that's a consequence of having so many international students. We are a very Catholic province, I'll be honest. There's an abundance of churches here, which I know a lot of our Filipino students do find quite appealing. But of course, we have a lot of students that are coming from Southeast Asia, and we have celebrations for the Lunar New Year. We have students that are coming from the subcontinent region and have a large Diwali event. We have the Muslim students, whereby we have a large iftar and celebrations during Ramadan. And of course, the biggest holidays of the year here would be Easter and Christmas, which of course are celebrated. In terms of sports and athletics, we have a significantly large athletics program for our size. We were the #1 soccer team or football team in Canada for multiple years running, as well as female basketball. In terms of making an application, if you would like to apply, everything is done online, and we simply need a scanned copy of your transcripts. If you are applying for a postgraduate program in those business or public health, we must also have a copy of your degree, the actual parchment that says your qualification. We do need a minimum of a 70% Canadian in all of our postgrad programs, which is about a B average. We do have 3 intakes per year, September, January, and May. And we usually process our applications within 4 weeks. Depending on when you apply, it could be less, it could be more. But I am happy to tell you that any application you do make through CIC, it will be free of charge. It's normally 100 Canadian dollars, but if you go to Tin and Apple, they'll help you with an application and make sure it's free of charge. One of the benefits, I think, as well, of applying to CBU is that in terms of the language requirements, we require almost every country in Asia to have a minimum of 6.5, no band less than 6, except for the Philippines, okay? If you are interested in applying to Cape Breton University, you do not need an IELTS score, okay? We recognize the Philippines as a English-speaking country. However, and this is going to be something that I know Apple has really pushed, if you use the study direct stream visa, you will need an IELTS score of 6.0. And I missed the first part of Apple's presentation, but if I can really, really stress the benefits of the SDS program, please make your application through SDS. I know that you do have to put a little bit of extra work in to do the IELTS, and you do have to pay the full year up front, but it makes a world of difference in terms of the visa acceptance rate. There's only a few countries in the world that have SDS. The Philippines is one of them. And I can really say it does work better than the general application. So please, if you are submitting your application, do consider writing the IELTS and applying through the SDS stream. The last thing I would just talk about, other than our language partner, is our on-campus accommodation. I think, again, like most universities, if you are looking to live on campus, we have many different options: private rooms, shared rooms, or if you're looking to live off campus, we can help you with that. But generally what we tell students and parents is that outside of tuition, the cost of living for 1 year is about 10 to 12,000 Canadian dollars. And that will cover your apartment, your food, your bills, everything you need outside of tuition for a year. Again, Canada is not a cheap country. Canada is a very expensive country, but depending on where you live, this can be reduced. I think most of you probably know that, you know, Vancouver, Toronto, Calgary, Ottawa, these are the more expensive regions. And one of the benefits is that if you are looking for a more affordable place to live, certainly Atlantic Canada offers that. I guess I would close that off with, if you are looking for a publicly funded, government regulated university in Canada, I think with an affordable tuition, an affordable cost of living, and excellent permanent residence opportunities post-graduation, you should be looking at Atlantic Canada, and certainly consider Cape Breton University. Thanks.
Thanks, Brett, for your presentation. So right now, from Nova Scotia, we will move forward to Alberta. Please welcome the International Recruitment Manager of Red Deer College in Red Deer, Alberta, Mr. Calvin Yu. Calvin?
Hi, how's it going?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I'm just trying to figure out my perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So, okay, give me 1 second, and I will have my presentation on screen. It's not letting me share my presentation for some reason. Oh. Perfect. Okay, thank you very much for having me again. So again, my name is Calvin Yu. I'm the student recruitment manager here at Red Deer College in Alberta. So today I'm just going to talk to you a little bit more about what Red Deer College is all about and what program we have offered to any of the international student that's interested in coming to Canada to study, and as well as maybe potentially making Alberta their next choice. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about specifically what we have right in front of you right now. This is our campus right here. So Red Deer College is an institution that's been around for over 56 years. We're situated on a land of 290 acres of land. As you can see, this is the entire campus right here. Right in front of you, right on the forefront, this is our brand new Gary W. Harris Canada Games Center. It was the facilities holding the Canada Games, the Winter Canada Games last year, and is a brand new athletic facility for our students, as well as any kind of athletics program that runs through there as well. So currently we have around 7,500 students on campus, full-time and part-time students, roughly around over 200 international students from over 40 different countries. We are a public post-secondary institutions offering programs in 1 year, 2 years to 4-year program as well. The best part about our program and what makes us a little bit different from a lot of institutions is that we offer opportunity for students to have a lot of hands-on learning with the program. Thus, that's why a lot of our graduates, as you can see right here, 92% of our graduates find employment within 6 months. And the average income our students make is around $38,000 right out of graduation. That roughly equals to around 1.3 million Filipino pesos, for example. And for majority of our students, 96% shows a satisfactory rate of their quality of the education at Red Deer College once they finish. We are an institution that offers 15 different teams in 7 different sports, such as basketball, volleyball, hockey, and soccer, and etc. So a lot of students ask, like, so why would they choose Red Deer College? And what is the reason they would come to Red Deer College? Well, for one is our class size is substantially smaller for an institution of that size. Our class sizes roughly ranges from anywhere from 20 students to 40 students per class. And like I mentioned earlier, we focus on a lot of hands-on learning within the specific program. And since we have over 100 different programs, a lot of the program contain a practicum component where they're able to find potential future employer through their practicum. Our cost is extremely competitive, which I will be talking a little bit more through the next few slides. And of course, our modern high quality facility, like I mentioned earlier. So just to show you a little bit an example of, for example, living costs, the difference that we have. So if you compare a 1-bedroom apartment that you see that you'll be getting for roughly for a student living in Red Deer, it's going to be around $970 a month. Versus, as you can see, Vancouver is averaging around $1,900 and Toronto is around $2,200 a month. So living at Red Deer is extremely affordable, but at the same time, it is very, very close to other larger cities as well. However, on campus, we offer 10 different housing opportunity for students, whatever they suits their needs, starting from 1-bedroom suite studios for students that want to have that privacy for their own. As you can see right here, this picture is our brand new residence tower, which is for students that are interested in living in a studio suite where they have their own private bedroom, kitchen, living room, etc. And then we also offer townhouses and then apartment style housing as well. The cost of residence at Red Deer College ranges from anywhere from $600 to $800 a month, which is actually quite a bit lower than the average of renting in the city of Red Deer. We also offer a lot of services on campus. We offer counselings for students, as well as career counseling as well to help them develop their resume and interview skills for their future careers, as well as a lot of academic support services, and tutoring that is completely free for students as well. We offer a lot of library services for students. And of course, we have a dedicated international student team that deals with students' needs with their transition and orientation to Red Deer, as well as to the lifestyle of to be living in Canada, more specifically. So let me tell you a little bit more about the city of Red Deer. So the city of Red Deer is located in central Alberta. It is the 4th largest city in Alberta. We're about 90 minutes south of Edmonton and 90 minutes north of Calgary. So really right in the middle of the province. We have a population of over 100,000 people. And close to 20% of the populations are immigrants. And we have just a bit over 4,800 Filipino residents in the city of Red Deer. So next, I want to talk a little bit more about the programs that we offer. And like I mentioned, we offer over 100 different programs. However, I do want to kind of highlight certain programs today that kind of makes us a little bit different from other institutions. So first things first, I want to talk about a specific program that's currently accepting applicants for the winter term. So the Business Administration Diploma, Early Learning Childcare Certificate, as well as the diploma, the EA program, the Visual Arts diploma, and of course, any of our university transfer program are currently accepting applicants for the winter term, January 4th. And the deadline for the application is October 15th. Now, the program that I want to mention today is the Business Admission 2-year diploma program. So this program provides students an opportunity to learn and specialize in specific field within the business administration area, such as accounting, human resources, and marketing. However, I want to give a little highlight on this program is that this program, the cost of this program costs around $36,608 for the entire 2-year program. Now, if you were to compare this to a very similar program in, let's say, in Edmonton, or the University in Edmonton, or a university in Calgary, it will cost roughly around $66,000 for a 2-year business administration program as well. The best part about a business administration program is that it has this flexibility for you to complete the program, graduate, and find employment afterwards. And since it is a program that's over 8 months and we are a public funded institution, it qualifies for the postgraduate work permit as well. So students are able to find work once they graduate as well. However, if the student decides to continue on and want to complete their degree, they are able to stay on campus and complete year 3 and 4 as the collaborative program with Mount Royal University, which is a university in Calgary, where they will be able to finish the 4-year business administration degree at Red Deer College as well. So we also offer a program called Educational Assistance. This is a program that is actually quite popular with a lot of our students from the Philippines. This is a program that allows students to, once they complete all the practicum in the program, they're able to work within the K-12 system in a supportive role to teachers and supporting students in high school and elementary school as well. The good thing about this program is that throughout the entire 1 year, you actually get several contact points where you're able to actually physically be working at a elementary or secondary school as well. And then another program that we have that is very popular with our students from the Philippines as well is our Early Learning Childcare program, the 1-year and 2-year diploma program. Both of these programs is very similar, where it provides you with the knowledge and the experience in working with young children and enable you to work within the early childhood educator sector and within like stay home and etc. However, if the student decides to finish the 2-year program, you are able to work as a supervisory role or open your own daycare home as well. So a program that I really want to kind of explain to a lot of students that are interested in coming to Alberta and kind of in high demand, and more specifically is our Electrical Engineering Technology Diploma, as well as the Mechanical Engineering Technology Diploma. So since we're situated in Alberta and is literally the oil capital of Canada, a lot of our students, when they finish the electrical and the Mechanical Engineering Technology Diploma, they're able to find employment working for large oil companies such as Suncor and Syncrude and Shell, and immediately working on the oil sites. The best part about the program is that it provides you a lot of hands-on experience in working in that capacity, in dealing with a lot of the technology encompassing within the electrical and mechanical engineering side. However, during the program, we actually provide you with an opportunity to meet with our industry partners, and you're able to potentially find employment once you graduate as well. A lot of our students that finish this program and go work directly for a lot of our industry partners, such as Suncor and Syncrude, average income is around $150,000 to $200,000 a year as well. So both of these programs is very unique to our institution, and it offer a extremely huge opportunity for students in working in the oil industry afterward as well. So lastly, I want to talk a little bit more about our university transfer program. So since we are a comprehensive community college, we don't really offer any kind of specific degree to students. We only offer just a few. However, if students are interested in attaining a degree, they are able to come to Red Deer College and start their Bachelor of Arts or Science degree with us in any specific field that they like, and complete the first 2 years and then transfer on to another institution after we finish the year 3 and 4. And like I mentioned earlier, using the business administration diploma, for example, our tuition is extremely competitive, substantially lower than a lot of larger cities institution. And because of that, it's a great opportunity for students to start their education at a smaller institution, paying at a less or lower rate, but still getting the same exactly quality of education that they get from a larger institution. The best part is, Red Deer College, we actually recently received confirmation that we are turning into Red Deer University in the next several years. So currently, all of our instructors and professors meet the qualifications and requirement to teach in a university capacity as well. So because of that, our students are getting the excellent level of learning and education as if they were going to a larger university. But the best part is the cost is substantially lower as well. So like I mentioned earlier, I just want to show you a little bit our programs. Specifically, you can apply to our institution. Once you apply, you can do a complete entire program and start a career, or you can transfer to another institution and complete your degree there and then start your career there as well. So to talk to you a little bit more about our admissions, more specifically. So two very important elements for international admissions for our program is number one, the English language proficiency requirements, as well as the academic program requirements. Now, the best part is, since a lot of the students or a lot of the students that we're potentially talking to right now are from the Philippines, and for the Philippine students for Red Deer College, we actually accept a proof of 3 years of English delivery education, either through a secondary or post-secondary delivery that you have taken back home in the Philippines. And as long as you're able to prove that you have taken for the last 3 years or 3 years of schooling in English in secondary or post-secondary capacity, we'll actually accept that and will not require English language proficiency, such as IELTS, for example. And then talk a little bit more about application process. All applications are done through a website called Apply Alberta. So you just have to go online to Apply Alberta, create an account, and apply through the Apply Alberta website. And once that application is done, then you will need to email all your required documents, such as a scanned transcript, and then as well as the proof of English language proficiency as well. So I just want to end up here for now. And I want to show you a little video that we have with a couple of our students that finish or currently are students of Red Deer College, and to let them explain to you their experience at Red Deer College as well.
I was born in the Philippines, but I was raised in Saudi Arabia in the Middle East. I heard a lot of good stuff about studying abroad, here in Canada especially. So I started during the winter term, and I have lots of experience. So I convinced my younger sister to go to Brazil. So the process of visa, the application level for visa, it was smooth.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much again for listening to my presentation, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the future, and you'll understand when you get here. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for your presentation, Calvin. So right now we will move forward to our question and answer portion. Okay, so as I've checked, there's no outstanding concerns in our Q&A box. So I'll be just asking questions in behalf, or this is the most questions that are that most questions that students are asking. Okay. For admission documents, will you accept if there will be any lacking document, let's say because due to the pandemic there will be some delays of issuance of documents. So will you be accepting if there's a lacking document, either let's say one or two documents? How about for let's go first for Niagara College, Ms. Divine?
Hi team. Yes, because of the pandemic, as long as the student have their college transcript, CIC can already submit their application sa Niagara College.
Okay.
And to follow na lang yung iba.
Okay, perfect. How about for College of New Caledonia, Miss Anne or Sir Angelo?
Hi, thanks. Yeah, similar to Divine, we really are looking for as much documentation as possible. However, of course, we do understand that there may be some delays in some of the government documents, such as if a student does want to come via the IELTS route, if they need to provide that. So we could then issue a conditional letter of offer, but obviously we would not be able to do the letter of acceptance until we have all of the documentation.
Okay, perfect. How about for the Cape Breton University, Brett?
Yeah, we would be similar to New Caledonia. We can provide conditional letters of acceptance, but unfortunately, as a public university, until we get all of the documentation, a full letter of offer wouldn't be possible. So we can provide the conditional letter, and then when the full documents are submitted, the final letter.
Okay, perfect. How about for the Red Deer College, Calvin?
Hi, yes, definitely. Well, unfortunately, at the moment, we do not offer any kind of conditional acceptance letter for students. So we only accept once all the document is sent to us, and then once our process is done, then we will provide a full acceptance.
Okay, perfect. So right now, let's move forward to my next question. So it will be more on for scholarships. What are the scholarships offered with your college, or what scholarships can you offer to our international students? Can this scholarship be applied immediately in the admission application or in their second term? Let's go first for Niagara College, Ms. Divine.
Hello, team. Yes, for scholarship, the students could apply the scholarship immediately after they receive their letter, offer letter. So yung letter of acceptance nila, once they received, CIC could immediately give the scholarship form to the student, and CIC will submit it on behalf of the student. So that is our application process for the scholarship. Then for earlier, may I tanong about the scholarship. So the scholarship procedure is we have three out. You could choose of the three. So first, if you're have an outstanding school grades ng college, so they could apply. The second, if they are eligible or they attended a CIC Niagara College webinar, so they could also apply. Or third, if they have an English proficiency exam or IELTS, because most ibang students still would take IELTS. So that is our for Filipinos. Then they could apply. There's no automatic grant of scholarship. They would need to reapply that and submit the scholarship form. So that is how they would submit it.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for that, Miss Divine. Let's move forward to College of New Caledonia. Miss Anne or Sir Angelo.
Sure, thank you. So in terms of scholarships, unfortunately, we don't offer entrance scholarships. However, we do have a couple of scholarships specifically for international students who are in second semester or beyond, and they value and range from $400 to $2,000. And these are awarded largely to students who are really involved in our leadership program. As I mentioned in my presentation, we are very proud of our student leadership and ambassadorship program, and we want to reward this kind of volunteerism and dedication to helping other students by offering scholarships in that regard. In addition, the college itself does have a number of different bursaries, largely through the Students' Union for specific programs such as nursing and business.
Okay, perfect. So let's move forward to Cape Breton University. Mr. Brett.
We do have scholarships available, usually upwards of 2,500 to 4,000 Canadian dollars. They would be, though, for only undergraduate programs. Students can apply for those as soon as they are accepted. And generally, we look at the academic grades as the primary motivator for issuing those.
Okay, perfect. How about for the Red Deer College, Kelvin?
Yes, so at Red Deer College, we do not offer any entrance scholarship at the moment. However, we are an institution that really focus on student success, and we really want to support students in as many ways as possible, especially in financially. So last year, for example, we put away just a bit over $1 million that we actually gave out in scholarship and awards to our students. So any students that actually, once they're accepted, there is an application process that they have to apply when they're on campus or when they start the schooling, and you're able to apply to our scholarship and awards that we have on campus, and then it really ranges based on like academic as well as financial needs, anywhere from $400 up to $7,000 to $8,000 as well. But that's again, it's really dependent on specifically financial need and of course academic achievement as well. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So my last question will be, once you have or the school offered this, gave their offer letter to the students, how much will be the tuition deposit for the issuance of the letter of acceptance? Let's go for Niagara College. Ms. Divine.
Yes, Dean. For tuition fee deposit, there's no tuition fee deposit for Niagara College to apply for for the letter of acceptance or to give the letter of acceptance. So, process is they would first apply. If apply with Niagara College, so 100 yung Canadian dollar yung application fee namin, but it's waived through through CIC or get Gateway to Canada. Then after which ibibigay namin or i-issue namin yung official letter of acceptance. Then they would pay the first term or the 1 year of their program before the deadline. Usually the deadline of paying for the tuition fee is 4 months before the intake. Yun. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. How about for the College of New Caledonia, Miss Anne or Sir Angelo?
Sure. Sorry, Angelo, I seem to be just jumping right over before you get a chance to answer, but that's okay.
Oh, it's okay. You can do it then.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
I do appreciate that. Yeah, so our typical deposit will be 10,000 Canadian dollars, which is going to cover pretty much the whole of your first year's tuition. However, for our students applying from Philippines, we can reduce that down to $6,500 because of course we recognize that many of you will be coming through Study Direct Stream and therefore also having to put in the $10,000 for the GIC. So we want to make this as affordable as possible. So a minimum tuition deposit is $6,500. However, we can, if you want to send us the 10,000, then that would obviously help you a great deal in terms of being able to prove your intent to study, and we'll put a little bit of extra money into your account so that you can just take a few more courses before you then have to send any more.
Okay, perfect. How about for the Cape Breton University, Brett?
So for Cape Breton University, we don't require our students to pay anything to receive the offer letter. We strongly encourage students, though, to pay the full year tuition fee upfront. That is what SDS requires. And, you know, one thing we try and really stress with our students, it's one thing to be accepted to the university. It's another to get the study permit. And there's no point of applying to the university if you have no possibility of getting the study permit. So if you're prepared to come to Canada and you're aware of the costs, we strongly recommend pay the entire fee upfront. This is going to show the embassy that you have the financial capacity to support yourself. But, you know, it really is at the discretion of the student. If a student doesn't get the visa, we will refund the entire tuition deposit. We're partnered with CIBC Bank in Canada to receive that payment. So it's all done through the bank. It never touches our account until, you know, it's finally approved from the visa. And yeah, I think we really just need to guide students on what's going to be the most beneficial for them in getting the study permit afterward. But we don't require anything for the offer letter.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for that, Brett. Let's move forward to Red Deer College, Calvin.
Yes, definitely. So for any student that go through the process of applying to Red Deer College, like I mentioned earlier, once the application is done through Apply Alberta and all the necessary document is provided to us and a acceptance is given out to the students, a full acceptance. Like I mentioned again, we do not provide any conditional acceptance. So once the acceptance is provided, a student will have to provide a $1,400 tuition deposit. Again, that is a deposit to kind of hold your spot in the program. The main reason is because a lot of our program are limited in space and as well as is somewhat competitive in a lot of our programs. And then, of course, we understand that a lot of the students is really dependent on their study permit being approved. So if the student does not get the approval for the study permit to come over to Canada, they can either to defer their acceptance to try again, or we will be refunding $1,000 back to the students as well. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for that, Calvin. So I think that will be all my questions for now. And I would like to thank all again our representatives, the school representatives, for joining us today. And thank you. We really do appreciate it, especially for Anne and Brett and Calvin from Canada. Thank you very much. For the closing remarks, I'll be endorsing you all with Sir Apple. Sir Apple.
Thanks, Tian. First, I want to thank again all our panelists for today for making this event possible. You know, this is extra effort for you guys, especially those who are currently in Canada. So please know that we really appreciate it. All right. So for those who students planning to study in Canada, just a recap of what we've discussed. If your goal is to apply for permanent residency in Canada, what you really need to do is to study for at least a 2-year program. And if you want a higher chance of approval, apply through the student direct stream. That will not guarantee approval, but it definitely will increase your chances of approval. You don't even need to explain the sources of your funds. That is something huge as far as the visa application process is concerned. And like I've said earlier, it is not mandatory, it's not required to hire the services of an immigration consulting firm like us. If you think you are confident in doing this on your own, information is available at official Canadian government website, that is www.canada.ca. All the information are there. But if you think you need assistance, then you may take the online assessment as the next step, or simply send us email to admission@gatewaytocanada.com. But regardless, whether you do this on your own or you hire our services, if you really want this for your family, you only need to decide, right? Because dreaming of a quality life is one thing. Doing something to make it happen is another thing. There's a huge difference there. We cannot make that decision for you, but we are ready to assist you when you are. That being said, thank you very much again. Good morning, everyone, or good evening for those in Canada. Thank you very much again. We really appreciate this. Bye. Thanks,
you.
Miss
Thank you so
Anne,
much.
Calvin,
Take care.
Thank you.
Brad,
Bye.
Thanks,
Kelvin.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.